What's up guys, Jason here and thanks for watching Terminal Effects. And as you can see, I got my kick-ass Iron Man 3D glasses on, which means over the weekend I got a chance to see a film that comic book geeks like myself have been drooling over for quite a while. But the important question is, did it deliver? Well, here is our spoiler-laced review of The Avengers. Comic book movies. Taking everything that's awesome about the Marvel Universe and cramming them into one film, and if you think about it, a flick like that could really go either way. It could have been a real train wreck if not handled properly. So how does the film start off? Well, to assemble this many heroes under one banner, you'd have to match it with a fairly sizable villain. Here it comes in the form of Thor's brother Loki, as he leads an intergalactic army in his siege of Earth, in return for the promise that he'll provide to them Marvel's infamous Cosmic Cube so they can use it to rule the galaxy in typical bad guy fashion. And it's always the galaxy, it's never, I want to be head of the neighborhood watch for a week. Then, after Loki destroys a major shield installation, making off with the cube, we begin assembling our team of heroes. It's pretty interesting how they managed to weave all the characters into the storyline, and they did a good job of making everyone seem to fit. Hawkeye is a perfect example, as to be honest, he was the Avenger I was least interested in. At least Black Widow had been established from Iron Man 2, but besides his brief cameo in Thor, Hawkeye really hasn't had much of a setup. But with him being placed in the bad guy sidekick role for the first half of the film, it actually made sense, and it gave him a larger role in a film where he otherwise would have been lost in the shuffle. Another interesting factor in the team's dynamic is how they don't get along at first. I guess when I heard they were making an Avengers movie, I just figured everything would be copacetic. But here, the entire first half of the film is based around the battles that play out amongst the team. We get to see almost every possible face-off you could think of, from Hulk versus Thor, Black Widow versus Hawkeye, and the rivalry every comic book fan wanted to see, which is Captain America versus Tony Stark, as this plays off the storyline from the popular Civil War comic series that turns these two Avengers into bitter rivals. There isn't much to say regarding casting, as everyone returns from their previous roles, except of course for Mark Ruffalo taking over the role of Bruce Banner. Although at first I was a little bummed to hear Ed Norton wouldn't return from Hulk 2, Mark Ruffalo turned out to be my favorite version so far, as I think he pulls off the Bruce Banner role better than anyone before him. Ed Norton was good, but he didn't really come across as that nerdy scientist type. Also, when I heard the main villain would be the guy from Thor, I was a bit skeptical. I really didn't think the character was strong enough to support the entire cast of the Avengers, but frankly, I was wrong. And 100% credit for that has to go to Tom Hiddleston. He totally carried his performance, and I enjoyed every scene he was in. My favorite is where he and Tony Stark are facing off right before the final battle. It's just the two actors that are really good at what they do, keeping you on the edge of your seat, not by fighting, but just talking. That's what really makes a film for me, how the characters can draw me in, and Tom Hiddleston truly made me want to see exactly what Loki would do next. He had a great balance of suave arrogance, but also danced that fine line between total insanity, not unlike Heath Ledger's performance in Dark Knight, although I wouldn't go so far as to compare the two. The drama that plays out amongst the team draws out for so long that you almost forget we're building toward a big battle scene at the end. For the most part, it was epic, as you'd expect, and it really wraps up the film nicely. Hulk and Iron Man seem to do most of the heavy lifting, which is where I thought the film's co-star Chris Evans would kind of be left out. I mean, when you have a giant green Hulk, a thunder god, and a guy who can fly, someone in a blue jumpsuit that can run real fast doesn't seem to have much to offer. But they were able to insert him into a commander-type role with the other Avengers following his lead during the fight, and it actually worked well. It keeps him and some of the other non-superpowered characters in a key role while not making them look weak. And last but not least, the hidden endings. In typical Marvel fashion, not only did we get a secret end scene, but two. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, the second ending is bullshit. Usually it's worth sitting through the extra 5 or 10 minutes of credits in a Marvel film for the awesome bonus scene, but in this case, I'd say don't waste your time. It's just the Avengers sitting around in a broke-down cafe after the final battle, eating falafel or whatever the hell Tony Stark said he wanted to try, and that's it. It's maybe 10 seconds, doesn't really add anything, and not worth the wait. However, the first hidden ending does deliver. It comes about 60 seconds into the end credits, where the head of the alien race from the beginning of the film is talking to some shadowy overlord who no doubt will prove to be the villain in the second Avengers movie. As we pan up, he turns around to reveal, drumroll, that's right, comic book fans, it's Thanos. The Avengers was fun. In the end, if you can say that about a film, what more can you ask for? It was seriously hyped, but lived up to it and delivered almost flawlessly. It's not a cinema classic, but it's a fun popcorn movie that bookends the first set of Marvel films quite nicely. So Marvel's The Avengers gets a 4 out of 5. And you can add Box Office Blockbuster to the list of accolades, as The Avengers has set a new opening weekend record at $200 million, bringing its international sales to over $500 million and climbing. But that's it for us today. I'm Jason Messer. Thanks for watching. And if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to get all of your gaming and entertainment news. It's like it's coming right at me.